Okay, I am gonna start. I am gonna end the year with the last movie I saw this year because I saw a lot of good movies and a lot of really bad movies. So I want to recommend you guys my worst of list. I really want to recommend my best movies of the year list because every reviewer, every movie critic on YouTube has a opinion on what they think is the best, what movies they enjoyed, and what movies that gave them a headache, what movies gave them nightmares, and the reason why certain directors or actors should not be on movies. But I highly recommend you guys check out my worst movies of the year list because Return of Xander Cage is definitely on there. Because The Bye Bye Man is definitely on there. Resident Evil The Final Chapter is on there. Fate of the Furious is on there. Definitely with a bullet. So I highly recommend you guys check out my best movies of the year's list. And you guys probably might argue the fact. Leave on the comments below, and also my worst of list, which everybody likes because most people that have sense of humor like to poke fun at these movies, and I laughed it up at the from watching a lot of these really bad movies. Okay, and now the last movie of the year that I saw. This is the last movie I seen this year, so I want to just wish everybody a happy New Year. And I went to a theater in Sun Prairie, and it was such a lavish, beautiful theater. It's a brand new theater, and this is my first experience at the movies with Star Wars. Been watching these movies since birth, so it gave me such an experience. I enjoyed myself so much. I took some pictures. I put them on my Instagram. You guys want to check it out? It's under Luis Valenzuela. I'm on Instagram. Check me out. I'll show you guys a couple pictures I took at the theater. It looked really cool, because I'm such a biased Star Wars fan. I've never really been much of a Star Wars fan. I have maybe of the old films when I was younger and I was a boy, when I was a baby boy, but now I'm kind of like a little bit neutral now. Okay, Star Wars: The Last Jedi is directed by Rian Johnson and executively produced by the guy who brought us Star Trek, the new Star Trek movies, J.J. Abrams. I personally like that guy's work. I love his style. Okay, and now let's get to the plot of this movie. The plot of this movie, for me, it was kind of hard to understand what it was really about. That what I could tell from what I saw is that right now the rebels, they're down the line. They've got they're low on numbers. They're low on men that can fight and women. So I personally think that the Empire, or more like the First Order, are there to end them. They're low on numbers. They got no more. They have very few ships anymore. So they have to avoid. Basically, the rebels have to avoid going to hyperdrive or ludicrous speed, whatever you want to call it. In order to, because they have a special beacon that's able to track the rebels on their ships, and the First Order is closing in on them, and they have to figure out how to stop the First Order from destroying them. So they have to find a special like part of the ship that's able to track them. So that's basically what the movie's about. What the movie was really about, because it really explores a lot of different subjects, including, and my hats off to Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, and Carrie Fisher. Rest in peace, and I will definitely remember you from my childhood. And you definitely, was this a great send off for Carrie Fisher? I'm not quite sure, but I'll get to that right now. First of all, okay, everybody did a great job in this movie. Everybody did the acting was done really well, I'll say, but I don't know about the story plot wise, if it was all good with me. Because okay, Mark Hamill, he wants to end the Jedi. He wants to kind of call it quits. He's calling it quits. He goes to an island and he wants to die there. He really just wants to forget he was ever a Jedi. So Rey has to go there. She wants to get trained by him, and Rey's kind of in a situation where she has to find the strength of the Jedi, this religious order that has been around for many eons, and try to harness that power to save the galaxy, save the rebels from getting annihilated on this movie. So she's kind of like in between helping the rebels and trying to get Luke Skywalker to train her. So, and then we have Finn. He goes on a different quest. It looks like he's trying to find her in the very beginning because he finds this homing device, or actually he steals a homing device, and it comes in this new character named Rose. I have no clue what is she. She was just kind of like a filler character for me, and there's a romance on this movie, and I had no idea it was going on until I actually got home last night. That Rose was actually had a crush on Finn, because it doesn't really. They're they're the complete opposite of each other. They're the polar opposites of each other, and it really doesn't it doesn't help. It really didn't help the movie because really Finn had nothing to do. Maybe if he would have gone after Ray, and it would have if he would have just kind of went for that. But for some reason, he goes to a planet. He has to find a a way to. They're trying to find a way to stop the First Order from homing in on this with their tracking whatever their tracking device that's able to find their ships. So that's basically he goes to this Casino Royale looking planet with a bunch of. It just really did to me did really match the sequence of the movie. It did really have that Star Wars feel that a lot of us grew up on. And that's just my personal opinion. And there's a bunch of little probably, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on the children on this movie. I think this is what by the end of this video, I think I'll do that actually. So okay, so Kylo Ren and uh, uh, Supreme Ruler Snoke. I'm sorry, I called Snoke. Snoke. He's here specifically just to tell people he's really badass. That he'll destroy anybody at any moment's notice, and he really looks intimidating in the beginning. Anyways, it really looked like he was a real threat. That he was stronger than the Emperor. If you guys remember the Emperor, now Skywalker. And it really gave you the notion that he was a real threat, that he was stronger than Darth Vader, stronger than Kylo Ren, stronger than the Emperor, and he was really in this movie just to kind of give the Ray something to do, really, because Ray had a whole lot of character moments that I enjoyed, really, and so Kylo Ren, he's kind of able to communicate with Rey, but he's not able to communicate with Luke Skywalker simply because Luke Skywalker is a seasoned veteran, and he's able to keep him from finding out what he's gonna do next. So there's a lot of communication between the two. So Rey's kind of angry with him at first because he kills Han Solo in the last movie, and it shows in the beginning, and then somehow she starts to have sympathy for him in mid movie because he helps her dispatch Supreme Ruler Snoke, and that's what really that's a negative of the movie because I really thought that Snoke had something was a real threat, but when you actually see him get killed so easily in the movie, it was kind of a big disappointment. But I'm going to give you guys a spoiler that I think that is not on the internet. I think, or it might be with another reviewer. I'm not sure. As soon as I'm done with this review, so okay, a lot of the moments in the movie and a lot of the characters, including Poe, had a lot of stuff to do on this movie. I think a lot of us like Poe because he's just a badass. Because but he kind of messed up on this movie that got a lot of the rebel forces destroyed in the very beginning. The opening fight, battle and battle sequence is so awesome, so beautiful, so seamless. It is just jaw dropping what CGI can do, and if it's done the right way, if it's done with a lot of love, and it's done with the love for the art form of movie making. So he's got a lot of stuff. He's involved in the plot a whole lot. And Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, I'm getting to that already. This is not exactly the kind of send off I wanted for her because she died in mid film. She passed away in mid film. and I really don't think I think she did an she's Carrie Fisher. Mark Hamill is Mark Hamill. These people have been acting since a lot of us were in diapers or weren't even born yet. So of course she did a really great job. But there's a particular scene where the Kylo Ren has a choice to destroy her. He kind of hesitates. So the First Order destroys the ship, blows up, and actually a really I like that part of it because you see it blow up. You see her, everything scatters everywhere to space dust, into debris. But what really killed it for me was she becomes the flying nun. I guess it's because she has very control of the force that she's able to save herself from actual death on the movie. And I'm sure a lot of us would have not liked to see her die because we all know that she passed on already. So it's just a really awkward moment. Her floating around in space like she's the flying nun, or a lot of people call her Mary Poppins, the Mary Poppins scene. And I really thought that was really out of place, and it was not a good send off for such an iconic movie star and memorable um, person in the Star Wars lore like Princess Leia. And so I think and and I'm gonna get to Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker dies on this movie, and it's kind of reminiscent of the way Obi-Wan Kenobi died because when he says, if you kill me now, I become more powerful." When Darth Vader, because there's actually a little bit of a throwdown between Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker is Luke Skywalker. The guy's one with the Force, right? He's one with himself, and he's able to do whatever he needs to do. And because he kind of hesitates, he's trying to run away. He just wants to end. And there's a scene with Yoda on it, and that was a really a big plus for me to see Yoda on it. And for a minute, I thought I was going to see Anakin Skywalker next to him, but we can only hope, right? Maybe the next one. Who knows? So Luke Skywalker shows up in the fourth act of the movie. He sneaks onto the underground base, and he goes out, and I see Imperial walkers, and I'm like, I get Empire Strikes Back feelings from seeing that from this scene, and I was like, I almost compared this movie to the Empire Strikes Back. Such an but the bar's just way too high. So he goes out there, they shoot him. Kylo Ren has him shoot because he assumed control of the First Order when he killed Supreme Ruler Snoke. So he kind of it kind of shows there's a little bit of redness in the snow, and it really looks like he got obliterated. Smoke clears, and he's just standing there like a boss. He's like, anyways. So that was probably one of the best scenes on this movie, and there's a lot of scenes I really liked on this movie. There's a lot of visuals, a lot of badass moments because there's a badass moment, and so he has a throwdown with Kylo Ren, and he ends up dying. You see him on the island, you see him pass out, you see him disappear, kind of like I said, the way that Obi-Wan Kenobi disappeared in the original Star Wars trilogy. So was that a good send off for Mark Hamill? Are we going to see him in the next one? Oh, definitely, I bet because he says, see you later, kid." So I think Luke Skywalker and Carrie Fisher really are the best part of this movie. Not because they're from my generation, and because they're older than some people that I know. I'm just kidding, but no, because they're just good. They're just too good, and them being on this movie, including Yoda, was just so iconic for me. So okay, so there was there was a particular scene, a lightsaber scene between Kylo Ren and Snoke's Imperial Guard and Rey that I really liked a whole lot of. I loved it doesn't seem there's a sense of like they're gonna get killed, that they could actually lose a limb or something like that. Like there's a sense of danger because nowadays with movies there's a lot of you just don't really feel any danger. A lot of movie heroes are invincible and they're unstoppable, and you just don't feel the sense of danger, the sense of urgency, and that scene was beautifully shot. I love that scene. I thought it was awesome. And Kylo Ren and Rey had a stalemate, and the only thing I really so, okay, if I covered everything so far, because I'm going to give you guys some of the spoilers that I thought, and maybe a lot of YouTube movie critics or bloggers on this website thought about. Okay, when Snoke died, he seemed less of a threat than anything on this movie, really. I think Kylo Ren was more powerful than him on this movie and more clever, and but I was just told earlier that maybe Snoke is not an actual Sith, that he's so powerful, so close to the Force, that he's going to become more powerful in death than he was in life. Because technically he was alive. If he was still alive when he died, and it just seemed like he was such a wuss on this movie, and all he was just a bunch of talk. So those are some points that I wanted to bring up on this review that maybe you guys haven't heard of yet. That maybe he's going to come on the last actual Star Wars movie, which we're going to get maybe next year or the year after that. I think I'm not sure. So and we're definitely going to see Luke Skywalker come back probably, and I'm hoping Anakin Skywalker will make an appearance. I don't know if I really want to see Hayden Christensen come back. Maybe they could do a voiceover of him simply because he was the reason that a lot of the prequels were really bad. So okay, I think I'm not sure if I hope I covered everything. If you guys covered, leave it on the comments below. Everything that I covered on this video, because I think Star Wars: The Last Jedi is an awesome experience. It's one of the best movie experience I had this year. This movie might have been my best of list had I seen it before I did my best of list that I did earlier this week. So I think Star Wars: The Last Jedi is not exactly a perfect movie, and it kind of gave me a Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back, almost a reminiscent, not just because of the scene in the Planet of Snow, but because it was just such a I mean, the bar is just way too high to say that this movie is in the same league as any of the original Star Wars movie. It is. I would say this is about the same as Rogue One, simply because Rogue One had Darth Vader on it, and this movie had Luke Skywalker, and The Force Awakens had Han Solo on it, and we did kind of see C-3PO and R2-D2, but they really did not have any screen time or had little or nothing to do. And maybe if they would have went on a quest with Finn and and Rose, or maybe Poe, that would have been awesome. Because they kind of gave you the notion that they're trying to get rid of the old generation and enter the new generation on this film, kind of like a passing of the torch of styles, really, of time periods. But I think Star Wars: The Last Jedi, I'm going to give this movie simply because it's not a perfect movie, but I had a great time watching it. It's probably it is the best movie experience I had in 2017. I'm going to give this movie a B plus because it is almost a perfect movie. But I know that there's problems in this movie, like the romance between Finn and Rose was ridiculous to me, and it's not it's because they're just such polar opposites. And there was a particular scene between Carrie Fisher and her lieutenants that really kind of left a little bit of plot holes simply because she was trying to buy time so the rebels could get away before the First Order destroyed their ship, right? But it really, to me, I don't think it explained enough for me why she was there, why she did what she did, why Poe was in such hot water. Besides that, he ended up getting a lot of people killed in the very opening scene of the movie, right? He was still really cool. I really don't care. All right, you guys. If you guys like this video, if you want to support this blog, subscribe to Louis Valens Cinema Reviews, and share this video. I am going to put this video on Twitter. I'm going to share this video on my Twitter page, which is Louis Valenzuela. If you want to look for me on Twitter to see what I'm up to as far as movie reviews are concerned. Sometimes I put other stuff, because I've been working a bunch of different projects lately that I just have not finished. But okay, I had a great year. It was definitely a great year for movies, and also a really bad year as usual for movies. That there was a lot of movies that I did not see, like Chips, like Baywatch, and Wish Upon, that I wouldn't have bothered to watch, even if you paid me. I honestly, I really don't think I would have bothered with those movies. The reason they were not on my worst of list because I just didn't go see them, and or a movie like Snowman, and it just they would have been on my list had I gone to go see them, and I did not see them. All right, you guys. All right, like I said, leave a comment below if I'm missing anything on the Star Wars, the Last Jedi review that I just did. If you guys think it could there's some things some points I could have discussed more about, please leave a comment below. Please subscribe to Louis Balances Cinema Reviews. I'm trying to get my subscriber range up. I'm at 155, and I got way more to go to get this blog noticed. Okay, help me out, guys. I appreciate you guys, whoever watches my videos. You guys are awesome. Thank you for everybody that stuck by me this year with the lack of movie reviews, because really I just didn't have the capability to go and do any of them, and I did see a whole chock full of movies. Okay, all right, guys. I'll see you guys next year.